All right, Ted, who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Okay, I know that I said that Bryson DeChambeau is one of the guys that I root against. And it's true. I do root against him. But I had to take him as a winner because the dude had one round under par the entire Masters, ended up as a +5, but it's really all anyone's talking about, right? Because of his approach and he hits the driver with such force and aggression and will it work? Can he win majors doing that? I got to say, even though I'm not a fan of the guy, he drives a ton of attention. And the group he's in of +4, +5, +6, there's no one in that group that's being talked about right now. And DeChambeau, the camera's always on him. Even whenever he's not doing well, the camera is on him. He's polarizing. And you know as well as I do, Gabe, that any attention is good attention. And I got to say that he's a winner, even though he played terrible, not what he wanted as a result at all. He probably had as much or more camera time as anyone out there, aside from maybe your handful of guys that were right there in contention. Whenever you're playing that bad, it's like whenever Tiger was playing. Even when Tiger wasn't anywhere near the leaderboard, they still had to show him almost every shot, what he was doing. And it's kind of the same thing with DeChambeau right now. I got to say, as bad as he played, as much as I can't stand him, he's still a winner. He's getting a ton of attention right now.
You could have gone with Hideki Matsuyama, but you're going with DeChambeau. You
Right.
as the winner, as opposed to the guy that actually won.
That's right.
That last round was kind of boring, wasn't it?
In a good
It was kind
way.
of a boring Sunday.
Hey, he played great, and all the credit in the world goes to him. But tomorrow, no one's going to know who won the Masters, unfortunately. That's just kind of how it is. People that watched it, yeah, they're going to know, but most people who turned it off, like you take not last year when DJ won it in the fall, but like when Tiger won it, the whole world knew who won the Masters, right? With Hideki winning it, even though it was a great weekend for him, it was quiet. He's not polarizing.
He's
If
just quiet
Speed,
in general, I think. And I guarantee you, Japan is celebrating his
right,
win. What,
sure,
first Japanese man ever to win a major? So clearly, going to be a huge deal in his home country. But I was kind of pissed off at Xander Schauffele because it looked like it was going to get a little tight there, and then he puts it in the water on 16 and triples it, and it just like because you could see it building on Twitter. Like I was looking at Twitter right when everything was happening. Like Schauffele's going on that tear. Maybe Matsuyama's getting a little tight. And then it was in the water and it was all over because everyone was like, oh, we could get good. This could be good. And then it just died so quickly.
of all the places too, 16 is, and look at me, I'd hit it in the water there every time, but that's not really a water hole. That's not 15, okay, 12 and 13, sure, maybe even 11, but 16's not typically your water hole. So that was pretty
He,
bad.
so on the par threes, I've started looking kind of like where the guys' divots are because they're so good at creating massive divots in front of the golf ball. Like it's so impressive to me for some reason. I'm like fascinated by it. It's like, well, the divot actually goes way in front of the ball for the
Mhm.
pros. How about that? And when he hit it on 16, I was sitting there watching it with my wife. I go, ooh, that's fat. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I'm telling you, that's fat. And then bloop. I was like, I told you.
Ah,
Look at me and my golf lingo. Getting into it, Ted. Oh, yeah.
wow, I love it. I love it. No, but I got to say, DeChambeau, as horrible as he played, I think he still comes out as a winner just because of the amount of attention that he gets for playing bad.
Yeah. You're right. Golf needs him.
Yeah,
And
no, I
with no Tiger, right? And Tiger Woods probably never going to be Tiger Woods ever again after what just happened. So they need something, even if people are hate watching DeChambeau, hoping he crashes and burns, right? Hoping that the wheels fall off. Golf needs it. They need it. So I'm with you, Ted. Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I had to go with UCF here. Now, some people may say they're the winner on this deal, but for their spring game, UCF is putting the players, they get their Twitter handle on the back of their jersey instead of their name. So, yours would say, what's your Twitter handle? At Gabe Eichert or.
Yeah, I'm it's just my name. So it would literally just be my name on the back of my jersey.
So that's what they've gone with. And it's cool. Guys get their Twitter handle thrown out there, but to me, this is just a massive invitation for everyone to hammer the kids that don't play well in the spring game. It's just I see this as going horribly wrong. Like a kid throws an interception, and it's like, wow. Typically I wouldn't have said anything, but since his Twitter handle is right there on the back of his jersey, I'm just going to go ahead and blast it out there. Maybe I'm just an old looking at this, but I don't know. I guess the players probably like it, but I think it's a big invitation for obviously the lowest common denominator to show up.
Right. Because sensible people aren't going to, like, most sports fans, when they complain, college sports fans. Now, when the guys are getting paid millions of dollars, hey, you gotta take some of the crazies comments. You just gotta, that's part of being a professional. But most college sports fans will complain on social media and not tag the kids a lot of the time, right? Just generalized complaining, like what we all do, just a nice venting session. All of a sudden, and I'll say this, the Twitter search function, like you search a guy's name, it can take a little bit to find the guy. So it takes some effort. Putting the name out there for you to be like, hey, at Jimmy, you suck at playing quarterback. Like the trolls would, the trolls will come.
Here's the other thing too. It's okay. I see you, Central Florida. Why don't you do that during the regular season? Then we'll see what's up. You let them put that out there in the regular season on the jersey. Now we're talking about something, which goes to a whole new level just to think about it. And we don't have to go down this rabbit hole, but like if that amateur situation is struck down and the name, image, and likeness still shows up, now all of a sudden you lose a whole bunch of those rights that you've got as a student athlete. Those coaches that say no social media, no Twitter, none of this stuff, now all of a sudden, if that amateurism thing is struck down, you can enforce that. Now, it may ultimately hurt you, and I don't know that anyone would do that, but it just, does make you think a little bit that you may be losing some rights too whenever you gain some of those other ones.
Yeah. Some kid's going to legally change his name to his Twitter handle, isn't he? That's going to happen at some point.
I'm sure it's happened already. Maybe not as an athlete, but
we'll be fine.
Why don't you name your son coming up at have you settled on a name yet?
We have. Cameron, my wife's maiden name. Just going to call him Cam. Cam Eichert, coming your way June 30th.
Just go ahead and put it on the birth certificate at Cam Eichert.
Yeah, I think my wife would kill me. I think she would. Like, you did. Could you imagine? You did what?
But honey, he's already got 1,000 followers.
UCF did it. Gus Malzahn did it. It's the future, babe. It's the future.
We got to get it now before someone else does. I love it.
By the way, I'm reading lots of books right now. Lots of get ready to be dad books. A lot of A lot of stuff being consumed right now, taking a lot in. So getting prepared, Teddy, because I know the books will teach me everything I need to know, right? That's how it works.
They're going to teach you everything you need to know, and you'll be able to relearn it all the day he's born.
Awesome. Okay, my winner of the weekend, I thought about going with Tennessee State football players because it was announced that Eddie George, yes,
Oh,
Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George will be the next head coach there at Tennessee State, which is in Nashville. So, not a bad gig for Eddie George. I think he's stuck around there since his career with the Titans. But is this I think this is a thing, like the famous former player that has no coaching experience, right? We saw it with Dion, right? Now Eddie George. This is a thing now.
hey, if you can take a job, a lower level job, and go straight to the head coaching position and cut your teeth, maybe end up having a little bit of success, it's probably a better way to go about it than any other way. If that's where you want to go. I mean, if you can get that job, do it. Wow.
Yeah. But my winner of the weekend, Will Zalatoris, because this skinny, just 24-year-old guy, finished second at the Masters. And that's great, right? Played some fantastic golf, did some good things on Sunday too. Just had a lot of ground to make up with Matsuyama. It was going to be difficult, anyways. But the real reason he's my winner of the weekend is because of the Adam Sandler tweet about him. Because Adam Sandler sent a tweet that said, "Have fun today, young man. Mr. Gilmore is watching you and very proud." And for those of you that are Happy Gilmore fans, I assume you all laughed your ass off like I did because he does look like the caddy in Happy Gilmore. Like the just little twerpy caddy. I think, what was it? The Waterbury Open that he's
Yes.
playing in. And so I knew nothing about Will Zalatoris. Absolutely nothing. I, knew it was his first time in the Masters, knew some people liked him coming into the week, but you go back and watch that movie, the really skinny caddy, but remember he's the one he chokes,
Yeah.
like, and he grabs his bag and he's like, "What the hell are you doing, kid?" But
Just make sure I don't do anything stupid and embarrass myself. And then he stands right in front of that guy. Where were you on that one, dipshit?
which is one of the best parts of that movie, right? It's like that. But so I was like, I wonder if Zalatoris gets this a lot, and he's been getting it for a long time because Teddy, he's got a wedge. I think like his 60-degree wedge says, "Mr. Gilmore, I'm your caddy" on it, like on the club. Like he's got it stamped on the club. So
I forgot about that because he comes up and grabs his clubs and he pushes him down.
yes, Mr. Gilmore, I'm your caddy. So
Oh, wow.
that made me like Will Zalatoris so much. The fact that he knows he's a skinny dude. Like he's like, okay, whatever. I'm awesome at golf. Screw you guys. But the fact that he has that on the wedge made him very likable and very easy to root for me. Kids fully embracing it. I love it. I love it.
You you
I'm
got
now
to
a
take that one.
Zalatoris fan.
You have to absolutely take that and run with it. You got to squeeze every ounce of that you can, and whether it's playing around with Sandler or having Sandler caddy for you at like a pro-am or something, I don't know. You've got to take that and run with it get every inch you can out of it. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Maybe he'll be one of Sandler's guys now, right? He'll appear in a movie or
That's what I'm
something.
saying. Like that. That's if you can be someone's guy, it has to be Sandler. That's the only way to go.
Absolutely. He certainly takes care of his own. Okay, my loser of the weekend. Thought about going with the Golden State Warriors. Yes, I know the Thunder suck. I'm still paying a lot of attention to the NBA. I love watching it. But Golden State not going well. And James Wiseman is hurt again. And this time it's not a wrist. It's a knee. He tore his meniscus. And it sounds like he's going to miss the rest of the season. You start getting lower leg injuries, like the lower extremity injuries to these big guys, man. This guy they took with the second pick of the draft, that is not what they want. That is not what they want. They want to maximize Steph Curry's career, right? He's starting to get up there, and James Wiseman was going to be a big part of that. So now has missed some extended time a couple different times during this season. Not good. Not good. I also thought about going with Billy Horschel. I don't know if you saw that clip, Ted, but my man, he's in the water on the 13th at the Masters. Ball fully submerged. Can see it though. He's like, I'm gonna hit this thing. I'm gonna. The shot he hit was unbelievable, but he does the thing. Takes the shoes off, takes the socks off, takes a look at, hey, where do I want to land this golf ball that's submerged in water? Where do I want to land this on the green? Because, yeah, normal humans could do that. And he goes back to walk down the hill to hit the ball out of the water and fall straight on his ass. And it was an awesome clip. Probably my favorite clip of the entire Masters.
And this is exactly why I do not own a pair of white pants. Okay, because something like this would happen. Because what's the first thing he does? He's like, "Oh God," turns to his playing partner and is like, "Do I have anything on my butt here?" Just terrible. But hey, if it takes sliding like an idiot down a grass hill to trade that in for the ability to hit the shot out of the water that he did, I'll take it.
Absolutely. I'd fall down. If I had to fall on my ass before I hit every golf shot to hit it straight, I would do it. I would sacrifice these buns. But my loser of the weekend is the city of Minneapolis. So this is interesting. The Minnesota Timberwolves owner, Glenn Taylor, has been openly, right, trying to sell the team for a while now. And he has finally found somebody. And that somebody is A-Rod and a billionaire named Mark Lore. So Alex Rodriguez and a billionaire are going to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it sounds like it's going to be a couple years before they have control, right? I think I read it was 2023 is when they will have full control of it. There's been some conversations about keeping the team in Minneapolis, in the state of Minnesota, but I think some Timberwolves fans are worried because when you look back at A-Rod's career, a long stint in the city of Seattle with the Mariners.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, Ted. Seattle has been bitching and bitching and bitching since the Thunder moved to Oklahoma City. I wonder if this is the way they get a team back. I wonder. Because if
Well,
I know if I was a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, I would be very nervous and pissed off, upset the whole thing.
it's beautiful for A-Rod because you take over. There's going to be rumors of the Seattle thing. Minnesota fans are not going to want their team moved. They're probably going to. How old? Do you know how old their arena is? Probably ask for a new arena deal, something from the city to pony up, help us either renovate or build a new arena. If you don't get that, you start flirting around with the city of Seattle. Ultimately, it's going to end up being a win-win for the new ownership group. Either going to get a new renovation out of the Minnesota deal or maybe a new stadium in Seattle. But no, you're right. Got to have some nervous people there in Minnesota for sure.
The Target Center, I'm pretty sure, is where they play. And it looks, I've only been to Minneapolis once, and it was the Minneapolis Miracle game. That's a fun memory of that city. But it looks newish. So I don't know. But I do think this puts Minnesota Timberwolves fans in a unfortunate situation. So I read that and I was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a rough 2 years for them thinking that it's possible that that
I
team's
think
going to
they'll be
leave.
all right though, man. It's tough to move a team. I mean,
That's
I
true.
know Minnesota hasn't been good recently, but I, there's a lot of hoops to jump through in order to move a basketball team.
Yeah, I'm with you, but still, those Timberwolf fans can't be feeling good about it.
No.